There's a moment when fear changes, when it's no longer about what you imagine, but about what's already there. These are three true horror stories, based on real paranormal experiences, from people who felt that moment happen. Welcome to Obscure Echoes. If you have a story you can't explain, send it to obscureechoes@outlook.com. And if these stories resonate with you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Hi, Obscure Echoes. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I don't really know how to start this, but I want to share what happened to me because I know I'm not the only one. People usually call it sleep paralysis. Some say it's just your brain waking up before your body. But if you've been through it, you know that explanation doesn't feel right. I've had strange things happen since I was a kid. Sounds in the house when no one was there. Shadows that didn't make sense. You grow up with it, and after a while, you stop questioning it. But this was different. About 8 or 9 years ago, it started happening almost every night. It got to the point where it felt strange when nothing happened. I'd wake up and feel like the room had changed. Like something was wrong. The air would feel empty, cold in a way I can't really explain. Then I'd feel the weight, like someone sitting on my chest. I couldn't move my arms or legs. I tried to yell, but nothing came out. Every breath felt cut short. This went on for more than a year. One night I went to bed around 2 in the morning. I remember lying there staring into the dark, waiting to fall asleep. Something woke me. I felt the bed shift, slow, careful, like someone climbing onto it. Then I heard whispering right next to my ear. I couldn't understand what was being said, but I knew it was close. Too close. The cold got worse. Then I felt the blankets being pulled. I tried to sit up. I just wanted to turn on the light. The moment I lifted myself, something slammed me back down. Hard. I felt something holding my wrists and ankles. Tight. Focused. Like it knew exactly how to keep me there. I tried to scream. Nothing. And then I turned my head. Standing next to my bed was a little girl. She wore a white dress with a ribbon around the waist. It looked old, dirty, like it didn't belong in my room. Her hair was straight, cut to her shoulders, and she had a big pink bow on her head. I tried to look at her face. There was no face, just a dark space that felt deeper the longer I looked at it. My chest started hurting. My mouth went numb. I honestly thought I was going to die right there. She leaned closer, and in a soft voice like a child asking for help, she said, "Help me. They won't let me go." I don't know what that means. I still don't. When I could finally move, I ran. I didn't think. I ran straight to my mom's room and climbed into bed next to her. I was 21 years old and shaking like a kid. Nothing has ever scared me like that. Some people laughed when I told them. Others went quiet and started telling me their own stories. I don't know what that thing was. I just know it didn't feel like it was there by accident. I really hope you get a chance to read my story. And if you do, thank you for listening. The first story came from someone who experienced it themselves. The next one came from someone who watched it happen. Hi. I want to share a story that happened to my dad. I hope that's okay. One night, my dad woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. That wasn't unusual. But he said something felt off the moment he got up. We live in an apartment building, and every unit has the same layout. Same hallway, same rooms. As he walked toward the bathroom, half asleep, he started hearing footsteps above him. At first, he didn't think much of it, but then he realized something. The footsteps were matching his. Every step he took, there was a step right above him. Same timing, same pace, like someone was walking directly over him. When he went into the bathroom, he heard the sink turn on upstairs. It stayed on the entire time he was in there. When he walked back out, the water shut off, and the footsteps stopped. The next morning, my dad asked me if I had anyone staying upstairs. When I said no, he got angry. He insisted someone was living there. A few nights later, he heard a loud bang outside the house. It woke him up completely. He ran outside, convinced someone had done something. He asked me to check the cameras. Nothing showed up. After that, he started changing. He barely slept. He snapped over small things. He kept saying someone was messing with him, trying to get inside his head. Months went by, then a year. Doctors put him on medication. They said it was stress, anxiety, but it didn't help. If anything, it made him worse. That's when the scratches started appearing. Long marks on his arms, his chest, his back. He said he didn't do it. He'd just wake up and they'd be there. He started locking his bedroom door at night, not because he was afraid of someone breaking in, but because he said the footsteps had come back. Only now, they weren't upstairs anymore. They were in his room. After that, things got closer. He'd sit awake at night, staring into the dark. He started asking me if I heard whispering, if I felt watched. One day, he told me the night he heard the sink, it didn't sound like it came from upstairs. He said it sounded like it was inside the walls. Now I hear him whispering at night, not praying, just responding. The footsteps still happen. Sometimes upstairs, sometimes in the hallway, sometimes right outside my door. And the worst part is, it doesn't feel angry. It feels patient.
The last story was sent by someone who's still trying to understand what's happening. And whatever it is, it didn't start at home. Hi, Obscure Echoes. I'm not really sure how to explain this, but I want to share what's been happening to me. I've rewritten this a few times because every time I read it back, it feels wrong, like I'm leaving something out. This didn't start in my house. That's what scares me the most. It started outside. The first time I noticed something was wrong, I was walking to my car late at night. Same parking lot I've used for years. Same lights, same routine. I wasn't scared. I wasn't thinking about anything. Halfway there, something in me tightened up, like my body realized something before my mind did. That feeling you get when you step too close to someone without meaning to. I stopped walking. The feeling stayed. I remember standing there, telling myself not to turn around yet. I don't know why. It just felt like if I did, something would change. When I finally looked, the parking lot was empty. I told myself it was stress. But after that, it kept happening. At the grocery store, walking down the street, standing in line. I'd feel that same presence behind me, close enough to make my shoulders tense, but never close enough to see. I started noticing it in reflections, windows, parked cars, dark screens. There would be a shape behind me that didn't line up with the space around it. Too tall, too still. Whenever I turned around, nothing was there. Then people started saying things that didn't make sense. A coworker asked me why I'd been outside the building late one night, just standing there and staring at the entrance. I wasn't there. Another person told me they saw me across the street, not moving, just watching traffic. I laughed when they said it, but I stopped sleeping after that. One night, I was walking home and noticed someone standing under a streetlight ahead of me. Just a dark shape, not moving, not reacting. I slowed down. The streetlight flickered, then shut off. The street felt wrong after that, too quiet, like sound had been pulled away. When the light came back on, the sidewalk was empty. That's when I realized something that made my stomach drop. It wasn't following me. It never had. It was already there, wherever I went. After that, I started feeling it before I even stepped outside. Like it knew when I was about to leave. Like it was waiting in the places I was about to be. Sometimes I'd feel it across the street from my job. Sometimes at the end of an aisle in a store. Always far enough away that I couldn't point at it, but close enough that I knew it was looking at me. One night, I stopped in front of a dark window and saw my reflection. I was standing still, behind me, something else was there, closer than it had ever been before. My reflection blinked. I didn't. That's when I understood something else. It wasn't trying to scare me. It was learning me. Now, when I'm outside, I don't stop. I don't turn around. I don't check reflections. Because the last time I almost did, I felt it shift. And whatever this is, it doesn't feel like it's waiting anymore. Thank you for reading my story. Thank you for listening to Obscure Echoes. If you've experienced something you can't explain, we want to hear your story. Send it to obscureechoes@outlook.com. You're not alone, and your story deserves to be heard.